Don't count out Casey Drake in that 87. He's right.
One more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Oh, Alto gets spun. Oh, Matthew gets the apron around the Strexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Not between the two is 2 car lengths. Too little too late for Derek on Smith. Oh, clapping gets third. Clapping gets third. Oh my gosh. Side by side. 3 wide at the wire.
ACOG iRacing Series presents to you Super Speedway event number 3 out of 6, bringing you here live at Daytona International Speedway with the Xfinity machines for tonight's event. Should be a fun one to see on who will come up top. First of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, especially on this 4th of July day. Thank you all for tuning in, and happy America Day, y'all. And we'll go ahead and drive ourselves deep into tonight's broadcast. And welcome for the Daytona 200. My name is Chris.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Tonight marks the official halfway point of the summer series. Of course, this will complete week 3 out of 6. And once again, happy Independence Day to everybody watching here tonight and competing here tonight. We'll dive right into how these points are shaping up here through the first 2 races, which, from our own admission, have been a bit messy so far. So hopefully we can get a bit of a cleaner run here for tonight's event. But out of all the carnage, Justin Johnson has escaped the first 2 races with the points lead. But Kyler Wynn, who won last week, hot on his tail there, only 2 points behind. And even if you look down to 20th in points, I mean, this thing is still wide open.
Yeah, that's right. Justin Johnson only leading 2 points over Kyler Wynn. And after that, Parker White right behind Peter Kenny. William Schmidt also in this mix as well. Dominic Cal, Joe Berger, Jeremiah Bethune, Kilo Hankins, Mitch Hobbs inside that top 10. But that top 3 probably going to be highlighted. Justin Johnson nearly won last week at Talladega in the Xfinity. I mean, not Xfinity car, but the old ARC car. So if Justin could capitalize here tonight, hopefully he could extend that points lead. But of course, you know how Super Speedway racing goes. Kyler Wynn and Parker White, they could easily pass Justin Johnson. It's just a matter of how.
Yeah, and Justin's come pretty close to winning a few times now, but just hasn't quite been able to seal the deal. So we'll see if maybe tonight is the night that he can break through and get that elusive first victory. And for him in the points, that'd be huge in that regard. So we'll see where everybody shapes up right now in practice. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much during the race. But about 2 minutes left here in practice. The 2 whites, Benjamin and Parker, currently 1-2 on the board. AJ Bain currently sitting 3rd. So I think we'll have a wide open competition here. I don't think there's going to be a really clear-cut favorite, even though Parker's already won here in this series. But I think it'll be a good race nonetheless.
Yeah, last time Parker won here in the Super Speedway Series, round number 1, and heck, that 95 came out victorious. But I mean, he did cross the start-finish line. First, it was Jackson Menchie, but got penalized across the wire. But Parker, the number 95, trying to go 2 in a row here at Daytona.
Yeah, and of course, Parker already has a win this weekend as well. Of course, he won the next-gen event on Friday night at Martinsville that had about 57.5 cautions, but managed to escape as the victor and got stuck in the wall across the finish line. So, trying to go 2 for 3 here on the weekend, as looks like we're going to have a bit of a pit party here to wrap up practice.
Yeah, everybody just getting themselves situated here with the night's event and such, but should be fun to see on how it'll all go. Lots of drivers around the racetrack. I mean, in terms of it, looks like we got, I'd say, maybe 26, 27 drivers here for tonight, so it should be fun, especially with some rookies to look out over for tonight's event. We'll go over those rookies. 238 of Jacob Oliver, currently sitting 5th in practice. Michael Schaum in the 157 here present, Andrew Lutz Jr. We talked about him just last week, finishing out in 4th place, nearly grabbing the win. So Miles Nelson also in the 06, not on the racetrack as right now, but those are your rookies that you want to watch out for here for this one. And we'll sum up practice here for this event. So scoot ourselves to the side, play the national anthem, rise out, remove your hats as we salute this 4th of July. We welcome everybody back here live for this ACOG iRacing Series event. Round number 3, gonna go into the books after 80 laps of racing here at the Daytona International Speedway. We'll go ahead and drive ourselves in for tonight's broadcast. I mean, 4th of July, what a way to spark off round number 3 here at Daytona, and gonna set off some fireworks, not only virtually on the back straightaway, but virtually on the track as well. So I expect some big wrecks, but hopefully it doesn't take out any big contenders off of this event.
Pretty much took the words out of my mouth right there. I mean, fireworks on and off the track here for tonight. And if any loud noises get picked up on my microphone during this race tonight, it is probably fireworks being shot off outside my house. So we got fireworks all over the place here for tonight's race. And as you look at the leaderboard, some laps starting to be put down here by various drivers here on the track. We usually see about an even split between guys that decide to take time and guys that decide to start in the back and try to avoid early trouble. And I'd expect no different here for tonight. As you look at the 59 right now of Bridger Olsen, who got a top 10 at Daytona a few weeks ago despite finishing 30 laps down.
Yep, that's right. I mean, hopefully the firework noises don't be picked up on my microphone as well, because, man, they are going off like crazy. Kyler Wynn, the 146, who won at Talladega, currently picks up the pole. AJ Bain going to be in 2nd place. Benjamin A. White also in the mix as well. So, got a lot of drivers inside this top 5 who, I mean, not winless, but I mean, for Kyler Wynn, trying to go 2 in a row here on this racetrack, as still more times being logged in. Drivers working themselves through as Dylan Basin works himself 2nd on the board. You also have Parker White in the 95 working himself around through 3. Harry Grindle in the number 70, who's ironically running a UK scheme. That is a bit humorous because he's not from America. He's from the United Kingdom, and go ahead and taunt these drivers just a bit, just for the heck of it. And yeah.
Well, the taunting can only go so far, because you know which country we got rid of, you know, or the country that we declared independence from. It's the one on his car, so we'll see how the US versus UK battle goes here tonight, even though it's like probably 27-1, but we'll see how Harry does tonight. I think he'll have a good run here. That's a really good lap that Kyler's got here so far. Dylan Basin just a couple hundredths off there in that 38. And we'll see if anybody else can best those two here in the last 30 seconds. But if not, it's going to be your front row here for tonight.
Yep, that's right. So as we whittle ourselves down with this qualifying session, the only drivers who have yet to log in a lap who are on the racetrack right now, Jackson mentioned the number 69, Harrigan on the 70, and looks like they will not be able to log in at least one lap. So 16 drivers in total are going to log in themselves forward. And man, should be fun to see on how it'll all go. Hopefully there's not any first lap shenanigans and such, but regardless, should be a lot of fun to see on how it'll all go toward the end of this event. Glad you can tune us here live on MaxspeedTV, bringing you here tonight for round number 3 of this Super Speedway season. Congratulations to our pole sitter, that 146 of Kyler Wynn. Left off Talladega with a W, and here he is back at Daytona up front. So picked off where he left out at Alabama, and right alongside of him, Parker White in the 95.
Hey, Kyler had a top 5 run going to Daytona as well a few weeks ago before his engine expired, but we'll see how he does tonight. Dylan Basin and AJ Bain will roll off in row number 2.
Row number 3 going to go ahead and consist of Benjamin A. White in the number 15, Mitch Hobbs right alongside of him.
Row 4, points leader Justin Johnson in the 33, and to his outside, Peter County, defending Daytona 250 winner.
Row number 5, going to be Bridger Olson in the number 59, and Patrick Mush in the number 46 in 10th place. Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver, and hopefully they'll win it here for this evening. Anybody with an R listed right next to their name, listed as a rookie. So 13th through 16th, all rookies right there.
And Andrew Lutz Jr., a bit of momentum on his side, escaped the carnage at Martinsville the other night and picked up his first ever top 5 here in IceCar. So we'll see if we can build on that here for tonight, as Ibrahim Dejani and David Bachman will round out our 26 car field here for tonight's event. 26 cars, 80 laps, 200 miles. We'll see who escapes as the winner, and we'll get a brief look at race analysis here before we get ourselves going. And that is a marvelous paint scheme right there on that 146. 2.5 miles is this Daytona International Speedway. We've got the evening session time because who doesn't love super speedway racing at nighttime, right? Pit road speed 55 miles per hour, so we'll see if we see any pit road speeding penalties perhaps show up tonight. Fuel window of 35 to 40 laps, so it will be a one-stop race there. 31 degrees of banking in these turns. Justin Johnson, the points leader, coming into tonight's race. Last week's winner, Kyler Wynn, 2 starts on pole here for tonight.
Weather static here for tonight. 2 miles going north currently. Physically there is about to get gusty because I know that hurricane's or that tropical storm is going to be there arriving on the scene here momentarily, but hopefully everybody gets themselves safe and such. But virtually, it's static here for tonight. No rain or weather shenanigans going to happen, and that means pure racing up ahead of us.
You know, while you do mention that, I do have a bit of a personal curiosity to see how super speedway racing would potentially go with rain tires.
That would be insane.
I feel like NASCAR is trying to work their way to a point where they might be able to eventually run ovals in the rain, because I know there's a
that's not good.
Well, needless to say, Bridger Olson done for the night here before we get going, but you know, I know I think there was a rain tire test at Martinsville not that long ago with the next gen, so maybe we'll see that one day, but with the amount of rain that, you know, always falls in Florida every summer, it does make me curious to see if we may eventually get to a point where we can do that.
Yeah, we'll just have to see as Kyler Wynn in the 146 will lead this show on the green, as Bridger Olson trying to, I don't know what the heck he is doing, but regardless, we will get set to go with now 25 cars for this event. Glad you can tune us here live on MaxspeedTV on this 4th of July. Gonna take the green for 80 laps of racing here at the World Center of Racing. It sounds a bit repetitive, but regardless, green flag is out, and we're up and away here at Daytona.
Yeah, if NASCAR doesn't want to run at Daytona on the 4th of July anymore, we will instead, as this field gets itself down to turn 1 for the first time tonight. Basin right up on the back bumper of Kyler Wynn. The outside just a bit sluggish and disconnected up top, but that should change pretty quickly, and we'll see who ends up deciding to drop to the rear here out of turn 2.
I think you're going to see a lot of drivers. There you go, already dropping themselves down low and out of harm's way. A bit of shuffling right behind because of it, as the pack gets separated momentarily. But up front, though, is Parker White versus Kyler Wynn.
And the 95 who won the Opes, and actually the 2 cars running first and second are the 2 winners this season. Parker White at Daytona 2 weeks ago, and Kyler Wynn last week at Talladega as an early caution on lap number 1. And we got 1 car involved. That's the 157 of Michael Schaum in some trouble here. Ibrahim Dejani in the 4. Jacob Oliver looks like also in some trouble, and we'll get a look and see what put these 3 in the wall.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what all happened there. It looks like Paul Granada looking for some real estate. Oh, just ran over 157. And no for Dejani.
Big hit for Dejani. Yikes. Oh, and the 06 looks like he came in a bit late there with Miles Nelson. Yeah, the 04 had a really big run on the 157, and I don't know if there was any miscommunication there. Maybe Granada thought he could give him a bump that would propel him forward, and either he couldn't handle it or it wasn't even, but you could see the speed disparity there between those 2.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Granada was doing. He straight up ran over that 157 of Sham, and I'm pretty sure both of their days are done for, including Dejani's, unfortunately. But regardless, we go under a first caution on the first lap, and fortunately to see a few contenders out of it already.
Looks like the 300 of Andrew Lutz Jr. also picked up some damage, and that he ended up getting into the side of Michael Schaum, as Bridger Olsen looks like the whole field's going to take the NASCAR chicane there that they run on the road course. But yeah, Bridger Olsen's engine smoking after hitting the wall there on the pace lap. And Dejani has gone around again as some cars decide to come down pit road, including Dylan Basin, started off in 3rd place. And this will elevate Benjamin White now up to that 3rd spot.
Yeah, so these pit stops are going to be important. The pit window is going to be around 35 to 40, so if you pit now, I think you could stretch it just to 1 stop. So all these drivers are just going to go ahead and hit pit road, and fuel only by everybody from 9th on back. So fairly simple in and out, as there's a culprit of Paul Granada, and everybody else just working themselves around and such, as see Oliver, Patterson, Schmidt, Mulder, and everyone else, as Olsen's still on the racetrack.
Yeah, not really sure what the 59's doing there, but as it looks like we'll have the field take the bus stop as well.
Yep, so first caution here for tonight on lap number 1, involving a few drivers, and unfortunately for Ibrahim Dejani, day ends only 2 corners in for tonight. So some other drivers themselves on through. You see Sham right there, Miles Nelson, who I think also got caught up in that incident. Bachman there as well. You see everybody else, and Olsen still smoking on the racetrack.
Yeah, tough break for sure for Dejani. I believe this is his first start here in the Super Speedway Series this season, and this night's over before it really started. We've gotten the 1 to go here this time, as hopefully the 59, at least if he's going to keep rolling on the track like that, hopefully he just stays out of the way of the leaders once they get to him, because that would be terrible. So our 2 winners this season will restart 1-2. Row 2 comprised of 2 drivers that have yet to win here in NASCAR, or ACOG, Benjamin White and Mitch Hobbs. Patrick Moosh yet to win here. Cole Woody won a few weeks ago. So a good mix of drivers in terms of number of victories. And we'll see who can get it done tonight.
Alright, so now left with 24 cars all on the racetrack to get ourselves set for this next green flag run. Everybody who who didn't pit, shuffle themselves to the front, but we'll see if this caution could net them enough fuel just to make it a one-stop race. But we'll just have to see by the end of it as drivers get themselves lined up for this first restart of the night.
Green, green, green.
There you go. Green flag is out. AJ Bain already pulls out a line. Will slot himself back into position in eighth spot, but already a bit of bottling up as drivers get a run on each other. AJ looking down low of the 71. I think that's Cole Woody. Looks like it's not going to work though. 2 by 2. Looks like 7 rows deep.
And Nick Roden in the 26 looked briefly 3 wide up top, but thought better of it and filed back in line. They're going into one, still side by side here down the back stretch as we see some shuffling further towards the rear of the field. And we'll see if the 95 can come down and clear into 3. Looks like the answer is no, as the 146 will pull back even here in the middle of the turn.
Yeah, a bit of teammates up there. Looks like the 89 of Mitch Hobbs on Nebula Esports as well as Parker White. So they pull even with the 146 who's getting pushed by the 15 of Benjamin A. White. So it's 12 cars under a blanket. He's worked themselves through. Mitch Hobbs is all over the 95's rear end, trying to get that outside line rolling.
Yeah, he's got to be a bit careful though so he doesn't end up giving that 95 a bad bump and potentially turn him around. And if that happens, that basically collects pretty much everybody up here. So got to be a bit careful with how they do that. As we see a third line start to form up on the top. Looks like 2 or 3 cars have ventured up there. Looks like they're not going to get much of anywhere right now. And AJ and Kiloa Hankins will stay up there for right now, but they'll probably fall to the rear of this pack.
Now, if it's only those two of AJ Bain and Kiloa Hankins up there, as Hunter Rupp is going to scoot by them in that middle line. Still 3 wide within this main pack. Looks like about 12 cars all the way back to Peter Kenny. No, make that David Bachman in the 84. Who have about a bit of shuffling there as Hunter Rupp gets a bit off guard there. I'm not really sure what happened, but regardless, they keep themselves straight for right now. They go down the back straightaway. Still 3 wide. This thing is starting to stack up yet again.
Yeah, getting a bit squirrely already here as Parker White will come down and clear the 146 and will take the race lead away. As they're still looking 3 wide back there, we'll see if AJ can slide back in line, and he finds a gap to do so. As we see a little mini pack forming back here. Get an onboard of your points leader, Justin Johnson, currently running in 16th place, but still, of course, much of the race still to go. Here into turn 1, the 2 Nebula teammates side by side here for the lead. Mitch Hobbs with help from the 71 of Cole Woody.
3 wide yet again. It's Bachman trying to make something happen as Woody pulls out along with AJ Bain. We'll see what 3 wide does for them. Coming into 3 is a bit of offline there by Cole Woody. Leaning on that left rear, that number 87 of Mitch Hobbs, but that outside line starting to roll forward. Here comes Hunter Rupp in the 27. He's dragging AJ Bain with him.
They've got a good head of steam right there, but I think they need one more car to jump up there. Oh, and the Patrick Moose just ramped up off of somebody else, and he's going to fling it down onto pit road, I believe to avoid coming back up into the field, but
he's got his black flag cleared.
I don't know if that was netcode or what, but he ramped off of the left rear of another car, but somehow managed to keep it going in the right direction.
And Patrick does get himself cleared by an in-race admin, Benjamin A. White clearing him. Good heads up there by Benjamin, as Hunter Rupp still blinking up on the high side. So, unfortunate for Patrick, he's gonna have to catch a caution to get himself back into this thing. We're still looking left and right as now with that bit of disconnection there. Looks like it's now left with Kiloa Hankins in the number 72 in this main draft. Starting to stack up yet again, but everybody keeping themselves fine and dandy for right now. 13 drivers setting themselves to pull away from these drivers in this second pack. And it's led by Dylan Basin. I mean, Dylan's sort of on an island of his own, sort of stuck in between right now.
Yeah, the 38 will probably get swallowed up there by that second pack shortly, and he should be able to tag on to the back of it. As the 300 of Andrew Lutz goes a lap down, he was involved in that lap 1 incident. So unfortunately, it'll be a bit of a long night for him. Clearly off the pace so far. So we're going to go 3 wide once again here through the trial, but as soon as they did, that third line got a bit disconnected with Rupp and Bain. They're going to have another shot here into 1 to try to pull even with our 2 leaders.
Yeah, it looks like it's Hunter Rupp trying to pinch the 89 of Hobbs as much as he can. The outside line is really stacked up behind Hunter Rupp, so they may have a run down here, down this back straightaway. We'll see what kind of run they could uphold down the back, and seems as though they pulled up alongside the leaders. So 3 wide, 3 rows deep, and it's Hunter Rupp looking to challenge.
Yeah, the middle line right now is just those 2 Nebula cars. There's really nobody else running there right now, and that's allowing this third line as Rupp will go all the way down the track, and he will take the race lead. Good job there for Rupp, and a good push from Bain, and oh my goodness, can they hold on? And he's going to slide through the grass just as he got to the race lead, but he'll hold on to it, and so does everybody else, except for 1 car there going through the grass. Parker White around.
All right, man.
And looks like Hobbs is also in that, and the caution will come out. And I don't know what in the world happened there, but the fact that that wasn't any bigger is a miracle to say the least.
Yeah, my goodness, that was insane. I mean, Hunter net-coded through the 15, and they somehow stay damageless, and Hobbs just comes right into AJ Bain.
And yeah, and there's Parker.
Oh my gosh, that was close there with AJ.
Yeah, and whoever that car was coming off of pit road.
And Hobbs comes up the racetrack right into the 300.
Oh no. Man, no.
Yeah, that's...
As if Andrew Lutz's day couldn't get any worse, it somehow did. No fault of his own there, and... Yeah, so we'll get a look and see what happened to Hunter originally that got him sideways. I'll get on the camera angle of this. But it might have been some more net code, I think. You'll see him right here. He comes back down the track to take the lead. Good move there, and a good push from AJ.
Oh.
And I think the 95 had just barely gotten into him. And Kyler Wynn was the car that took evasive measures down pit road, but Mitch just came right up into AJ, who saves it, and almost runs into Kyler coming off of pit road. And then here comes the 300 of Lutz. He goes up high to avoid the 95, and Mitch just doesn't see him right there at all. He just runs right into him. And he'll spin it down to turn 1. So a wacky wreck there, to say the least. And a lot of cars up there decided to come down pit road, and this is going to give the lead to David Bachman in the 84.
Man. Yeah.
That was a interesting sequence of events there.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I really don't know what to say about that. That was just so bizarre on how that
all went. It was like 3 or 4 things all one after the other.
Yeah, and... So, all they go down pit road. Except for Cole Woody. So he stays himself out on the racetrack, but everybody else is going to slam onto pit road. And green flag pit stops. Somebody way to left. That's the 238. And out they go as Cole Woody stays himself out. Bachman does come out up top. And the man who got lucky off of that exchange has to be the 8 of AJ Bain. My goodness.
Yeah, he could have ended up with a whole lot of damage, but a bit of luck on his side there. 8 to not end up getting a lot of damage from the contact with Mitch, and then to not hit Parker White, or not Parker White, or to not hit Kyler Wynn as he came off of pit road and AJ went through the grass. So quite a few close calls there. But we will rack up the field again, and we'll go green here in just a few moments.
Alright, so it's now Woody, Johnson, Bachman, Kenny, and White. All your drivers on this top 5. We'll show you everybody with laps led here on the left-hand side of the screen. Cole is leading his first laps. Bachman led one under caution. And yeah, that's about it. We'll have to see where everybody else is once it does shuffle through. But man, I just can't believe that wreck wasn't as big as I thought it would. I thought it would be, and see the 146 Kyler win, and who started himself toward the front, leading 6 laps. I think the driver who's led the most laps for right now. Position-wise, well, there you go. David Bachman in that number 84, electing with track position. Seems as though it's paying off here, and he's sitting in 3rd, but very, very early in the race, so.
Yeah, when that wreck first started, as soon as I, originally saw the 27 around in turn 4, I thought he was going to come flying back up into the field, and we'd have about, 10 or 12 cars all out of the race. But thankfully, out of all of that, they managed to keep it as tame as possible. And I don't think we'll have anybody retiring from the race after that, maybe except for the 300, even though he was already off the pace and a lap down. But nevertheless, disaster averted.
We'll see how Mitch's damage is on that right side. He got nailed by the 300 after that contact through the travel. So I'm interested to see if Mitch is going to be able to stay with this lead draft. That's huge for him. That number 89. Mitch came in here. I think top 5. I mean top 10 in points. So that's going to be a big blow to him. But for these top 2, though, different story, especially with Justin Johnson, your points leader, in the 2nd spot. Green flag is back out. We're up and away here at Daytona, as Cole does not have a pusher. Bachman, who's tucked up to the rear end of him. Bit of shuffling there, a bit of a bottle up there on the high side as Justin finally gets the ball rolling up there. A bit of 3 wide right behind, a wreck already, and around goes Hobbs.
All by himself, looks like he's the only car around. And it looks like it's not going to be a caution either. So a tough break there for the 89, who was just involved in the wreck that was, or was just involved in the wreck that put us under caution a moment ago. So he'll try to gather his night up here and hope for the best, as Cole Woody on the bottom will take the race lead away from Justin Johnson, with Bachman right behind him.
How about Bachman? The number 84 is Benjamin, gets a bit out of line there in that number 15. Trying to push that number 33 of Justin Johnson. Does so successfully as they peek 3 wide right in the background. A bit early to take it 3 wide, especially when you're not even a quarter of the way through the event. See the smoke that Mitch has trailed down. But up front, though, Justin's going to drop himself down in front of Woody. And new leader, that number 33.
Yeah, and they've already run 3 wide a good amount of the night tonight, so I guess it's just par for the course in terms of how these guys are going to run their race. So we'll see how much more of it we see as the night goes on, as the 33 clears the 71 and will overtake for the lead here into 3. And if he can lead this lap, that'll be a bonus point that'll help him as he tries to retain the points lead after tonight.
Yep, that is right. Coming up on, looks like one of a lap car. I'm not really sure who that is. Moves himself out of harm's way. But up front, though, caution does come out. This time for a wreck toward the back, probably. Looks like around goes Sham.
Yeah, second incident he's been involved in tonight. And we'll see what happened here. Racing with Andrew Lutz Jr. in the 300. Oh. And just hooked him. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and both of those cars were already really damaged off the pace, and even more damaged now.
Yeah, I think Sean was trying to push Lutz, who's...
It's the same thing that happened with Sean McGranata earlier. Thought he could push him and just didn't line the bumper up right, and they both end up with even more damage than they had before. Somebody's going to get the free pass out of this. I'm not sure who it is.
Probably going to be...
Or it might have been Sean before he was involved in it.
Might be Basin in the 38, actually. But yeah, that was an interesting wreck as Benjamin AY accidentally shot ahead of the pace car. So the only person who didn't pit yet is a 71 of Woody. So Woody is probably gonna hit pit road this time by that number 71, especially with now only 60 laps to go this time by. You could definitely one-stop it from this point forward. So we'll see if drivers do hit pit road or not. And the question, I mean, looks like answer has been made. Benjamin A. White gonna lead the field on to the service area.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was a pretty frustrating wreck for a lot of the people in the field. You know, just one of those deals where, you know, they're pretty far back in the field. You know, they're already off pace and a couple laps down. So obviously not intentional whatsoever, but I'm sure for the guys up front, you know, probably a bit maybe irritated about this incident happening. But
yeah,
that's part of racing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, cautions happen in all sorts of various ways. Unfortunately, it happened that way into turn number 3. But regardless, because of it, gonna have another restart. So see how it all goes. And that's a good break for the 89 of Mitch Hobbs, who did spin off of that restart for some reason. So we'll see how the 89 will fare out. See if he picked up a bit of damage off of that exchange, though. Now we got a new leader. It's Keloa Hankins in number 72. Might as well go ahead and drag in a person into the booth under this caution. So we'll go ahead and drag in our points leader, that number 33 of Johnson, who currently sits in the 6th spot as of right now. Into the booth he goes. Hey, Justin, it's Ezekiel Reyes up here in the MaxspeedTV booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, you led a lap, and, you know, you're coming in here leading points. Currently, you sit 6th as of right now, so what's the game plan off the restart?
Well, see, I don't want to prey on anyone's downfall, but I was hoping Parker and Kyler got into some trouble on those last couple of cautions. But I guess I'm just going to have... I didn't want to do this, but I'm just going to be a little more aggressive so I can get some points.
All right, bud. 10-4. You currently sit yourself 6th in this order as of right now. You did lead a lap, so that's an extra bonus point for you. So, Justin, we'll go ahead and wish you good luck for these next 60.
All right, thank you, man.
It's dangerous being up there, in my opinion. You led the lap, so that's all bonus points you need. But, man, it's... For Justin, he's in an odd situation. You want to retain the points lead, but, I mean, you could walk out of here with a top 10, still relatively close in points, so... A DNF is definitely gonna kill. And Basin does get himself around, looks like does get the lucky dog and the free pass, so...
And it seems like the issue with Basin was a wheel disconnection, so he's got that fixed up and ready to go again. But yeah, Justin definitely in an interesting situation here, where like you said, he got the bonus point for leading the lap, and you know now he's got to decide. You know, do I want to be aggressive here tonight and try to stay up front? Do I lay in the back for a while and hope for wrecks, or you know, we'll see what he ends up doing. But you know, as long as he finishes ahead of Kyler Wynn, it's going to be a good night for him. And right now, the 146 sitting in 4th, and the 33 sitting right behind him in 6th. So, right together on the track right now, and we'll see which one of them ends up finishing ahead here after these remaining 60 laps.
We'll just have to see, though, as the field sets themselves for this start-finish line. Keloa Hankins, who picked up his first win this season, will lead the field on down to the green. And here we go yet again at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Green flag for the number 72. On a huge bottle up there.
Yeah, and AJ already taking it 3 wide. He's going to have help from, I believe, Mentu in the 69. And a pretty even start from the 2 rows as here comes Moosh in the middle. And look at the run that AJ's got up top, but I don't think there's enough people up there to sustain that.
It snags the apron in turn 1. That's probably going to disrupt the inside line just a bit as the outside line falls apart. AJ goes nowhere off of that exchange, and he falls back behind. And Benjamin A. White, and now Justin pulls out of line, so here comes another Canadian there, trying to make some noise here in America.
Yeah, it was a good move by AJ, but again, just nobody to help, and it fell apart as quickly as it started. As Moosh is going to have a run, and Keloa had to check up to not hook the 46, and Bachman ended up running into him, and that's going to make the inside line completely fall apart. as the 46 will retain the lead. But here comes Kyler Wynn as Bachman's going to get hooked into the outside wall. He is going to come down the track.
How did he not hit anybody?
Everybody missed him. What? That was some Matrix stuff right there. He went through the entire pack and nobody else hit him.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe nobody hit him. But this kills the main pack, and there's only 6 cars in it.
We got to get a replay of that before we get too much further. I cannot believe he split the pack like that. He was dead sideways and spun through everybody. We got to get a look at this.
My goodness, you talk about...
That was nuts. And see, he'd already run into Kiloa, so he was a bit slower. Contact between him and Rupp's going to put the 84 on the outside wall. And...
Oh my gosh!
2 cars.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Alright, because of that, that splits the pack in 2, and it's a smaller pack toward the front rather than toward the back, because everybody's still trying to regather themselves and such. So, man, that was something else. It's been a while since I've seen something as bizarre as that, but man, that was something.
That's a first for me, but meanwhile up front, Kyler Wynn now leads the race. Patrick Moosh right behind him, leading the inside lane. Benjamin White and AJ Bain now lead up top. And Parker White, who was involved in the incident earlier, now works his way back into the top 10 already. And I think that second smaller pack should catch up to this top one here pretty soon.
Now the question is, how big the run is? How big is that run going to be by Jackson Menchu? Is he going to be able to swing it 3 wide? Looks like no. He's just going to back out of it and stay himself in line. Up front, though, how about these runners? That number 46 of Patrick Mush tried to come down to Kiloa Hankins. I mean, he did do it successfully, but man, Kiloa Hankins heads up maneuver there, and that number 72 had to jam on the brakes and caught Bachman nearly off guard. As here we go, 3 wide again up at the high side.
Yeah, and the 46 had a close call of his own earlier after ramping off of another car and flagging it down pit road to avoid any more trouble, but now already back up into 3rd place. So quite a few close calls already between the guys running up here towards the front. That's 146 with a bit of an advantage right now over the 15. But Benjamin will have a bit of a run outside. We'll see if he can lead at the line.
Just have to see, though, and at the wire, looks like that will be yes. So Benjamin picks up a lap led over Wynn in that 146, having a nice pusher right behind him, AJ Bain right behind him. Patrick Mush in that number 46, not really tucked up. I mean, he might be a bit hot running behind that 146 for right now. Just trying to time the pushes out well enough as Kiloa gets turned out of line.
Oh, man. He's going to save it down to the bottom, though, and another car goes flying down onto the apron. But everybody's going to hold on to it for right now, and someone just got the wall just barely, as Benjamin White has cleared the 146 of Kyler Wynn now for the race lead. AJ Bain now first up top with help from Parker White. And Kyler jumps up top. The 15 tries to block. Can't quite do it, though. AJ goes up high, but no help goes with him. He's going to fall to about 10th or 12th now.
Oh, yeah, AJ was looking for a run on the high side. Nobody went with him, and AJ goes from, looks like, a potential second all the way to the back. But looks like he's going to have a teammate. That number 33 of Justin Johnson going to let him back in line, and maybe those 3 will have a run as Kiloa Hankins is going to hook up with them.
Yeah, it looks like someone's going to drop down into the apron willingly this time to go a bit towards the back. Moosh is going to give up a few spots as well, as Kyler now clears for the lead once again, with Parker now up into 2nd place. So the block by the 15 didn't quite work out for anybody, as he's now back to 3rd. And he'll move up to the high side this time.
Yeah, looks like Mush, as soon as he dropped himself to the apron, that's allowed Kyler Wynn in that 146 to snag the lead away. And there was a bit of disconnection there on the bottom side, and because of it, everybody got a bit disorganized. And Mush was a sort of key person in that line, and because he had to drop, because he voluntarily dropped back, everybody got disorganized. So now we're starting to get packed up together. And this time, up on the high side, it's the 15 of Benjamin A. White trying to make some noise. But man, that number 26 of Roten's trying to shove himself up there. And it looks like he's going to be dragging the number 27 of Hunter Rupp. And here they go.
Yeah, Rupp was involved in a close call of his own as well after getting turned earlier. Also now back up into the top 5. So there's been quite a few drivers now up towards the front that have either wrecked or come super close to wrecking. They're trying to recover their nights. And so far, the 27 doing a good job of that, as well as the 95.
3 wide as looks like Roten in the number 26 gets out of line. Kilo hits the apron, nearly slides into the 15. They all gather it up as everybody scrambles around. The number 26 of Roten, who gets left out to dry.
Yeah, the 72 got a bit squirrely there, but managed to hold on as we get a cockpit view now of the 79 of William Schmidt, 12th at the line. You just see all the cars in front of him right now. He's trying to stay up top, possibly out of trouble for right now. And here comes Justin up the high side, trying to take the lead away from Kyler Wynn. The man he needs to beat for points.
Just have to see, though, as they work themselves into the front straightaway. Hunter Rupp gets a bit out of line.
46 almost got hooked a few rows back as well.
They all gather it back up. Left with 16 cars in this lead draft as the field works themselves into 1 and 2. Coming up here on lap number 30, so we're nearing that halfway point, just about 10 laps away. So if you want to hit pit road, we'll have to see on how it'll all go, as that's the 84 of David Bachman, the man who nearly died off of that trial exchange. Moves himself up high. Unfortunately, he's going to go 1 lap down. So that means Dylan Basin, the 38. He's going to have to fight with him to get this lucky dog if a caution were to come out.
Yeah, the 38 currently was the first car lap down, but that now belongs to the 84. So we'll see how that mini battle goes. And it looks like the 38's going to win it pretty handily. I think that 84 is down a couple RPM from that wall contact. But if I were some of these guys, as the 72 hits the apron again. Oh, when he hits it again, and the 46 of the Jim on the brakes, and he gets hooked hard to the wall and goes upside down out of turn 2. Grindel's involved, Schmidt and Granada are in it, and Patrick Moosh goes for a wild ride here at Daytona, into the fence and on his roof, and absolutely destroyed.
Oh my goodness, that was all sparked off by Kiloa Hankins of the 72. He snagged the apron and jammed up the inside line, and man, a mass wreck into turn number 2, brings the 46 upside down, lands it on all 4, but my goodness, that was messy.
And there's the free pass Basin he did as well. And we get a look at it as the 72 hit the apron once and then hit it again. Gets loose right there, and then gets tapped by the 46. He has to jam on the brakes, and the car behind Patrick couldn't slow down enough and just gets hooked right up into the wall. Goes on top of the safer barrier and goes upside down. And the 79, nowhere to go. The 70, the 04. The car that got into him was Peter Kenny in the 19. But, man, that was a vicious hit.
It was also an oddly realistic looking wreck, but man, that 46 took one heck of a hit up to the outside wall. We'll get another look at it again, but man, that sucks for the 46. I mean, he was having a good run before he got hooked, but man...
Oh. And the 19 did a pretty hard hit to the outside wall as well. He'll probably be down some RPM tonight. The 46 could only jam on the brakes so much before somebody got into him, and it ended up being Peter Kenny, unfortunately. And far and away, the worst of that exchange goes to Patrick Moosh, but Schmidt and Grindel also pick up a good amount of damage. Granada as well. Man.
Yeah, so I guess that'd be our quoted big one of the night. Takes out a lot of contenders. So Schmidt is probably going to be out of it. Moosh definitely out of it. Kiloa, I don't know if he got swept up in the aftermath of that. Man, Granada might be out of it. Harry might be out of it, depending on how his damage is doing, but man.
Yeah, and even with this caution coming out, these guys aren't going to be good on fuel to the end. So these guys are pitting right now, but the fuel window was estimated to be about 35 to 40 laps. So we have about 50 to remaining. So all these guys are going to have to come down pit road again before this race is over.
So yeah, White's going to come off of pit road first. It's going to be Justin Johnson now to be in that second position. Benjamin A. White third, Nick Roten fourth, Hunter Rupp in fifth. And as you mentioned, Dylan Basin in that number 38 does get the free pass. Oh, back on the
Yeah,
lead,
waited
he
a
goes.
while for it, and finally got it.
Yeah, Mag. There's Bachman in the 84. He's gonna have to wait for another caution, unfortunately, but... Ooh, that was a big wreck. And we'll see how these other drivers are gonna fare themselves in this... who were involved in that wreck. I think Kenny was also involved in that.
Yeah, Peter was the one that got into the back of Patrick
Harry,
as they were all slowing down.
Harry took a hit to William as he slammed into Patrick, so I'm curious on the
Harry
70s
might be
side.
alright.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I mean, it might not look as bad, but mechanically and internally, it might be another story.
Yeah, he might be down some RPM, but at least it looks like it might be alright.
Alright, so big wreck here, nearing halfway. Brings out the caution, and now the picture here at Daytona starting to unfold itself very slowly off of these few cautions we've had so far. I think it's our 4th or 5th caution of the night. Gonna reline it up with Parker White, race 1 winner up top. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green. We go up and away as Menchie tries to push the restart. Slams on the brakes.
He did not slam on the brakes. He shot it right up the middle.
Yeah, right up the middle. So one car very slow there on the inside. Hopefully they get themselves sorted out, but they work themselves through. And you see how small the field has become. Oh!
It's a problem as Grindle once again in some trouble. Caution back out.
Might have been Miles Nelson.
Hankins again, too.
Yeah, Miles Nelson, I'm not sure if he had an issue off the restart, but he was really sluggish.
Yeah, there's Menchu taking it up the middle there and getting some spots off the restart. But yeah, the 06 just dropped like a rock on the restart, and oh, that wasn't even him at all. The 70 just came up into the 72.
I thought there might have been some type of netcode there, but never minded that.
Maybe.
Harry and Kiloa just gunning for the same spot between.
Yeah, 70 went up, 72 went down. Just no one's fault. They just both went for the same piece of track at the same time, and there was already a car there for both of them, so unfortunately for them, back-to-back wrecks for both of those cars.
Harry is literally drifting on a straightaway, so his day
that car,
is done for.
that car is not okay.
Yeah, he's done for tonight.
Yeah, the Royal Air Force car will not be completing its flight tonight, as he will be out of the running here, and he'll crab walk it down onto pit road. The 72, he'll probably be down some RPM, but it looks like he'll at least be able to continue on in the race. But now this is interesting, as now we're going to have 45 laps remaining right now. We'll probably go green, maybe 41, 42 laps to go. And with a window of 35 to 40 for fuel, if you can pit now, and a caution or two comes out, you should be good to the end. But even if it goes green from here, we'll see if anybody might be able to save enough.
Everybody hits pit road, regardless. AJ's gonna stay himself out on the racetrack, the man who just about lost it through the travel. He's gonna pick up the lead.
Looks like everybody else, for the most part, also gonna hit pit road. It looks like Kyler just overshot his pit stall. Actually, no, he won the pole. What am I talking about? He's A-OK.
Free pass of the 84 David Bogman. He'll get himself back in 17th place on the lead lap. And looks like Cole Woody in the 71 went one lap down. Through that to some extent. 71 first car one lap down, so he did take some optional. He might have been the other car involved in that big lap turn 2 incident. Just have to see. Parker's gonna hit pit road again, so let's see who stays out.
Both of the whites do.
Yeah, and then it's the...
So this is interesting. We're gonna go green then with 43 to go. And the high end of that window is 40. So if it goes green to the end, you're gonna have to save about 3 laps of fuel. I don't know if anybody will be able to do that, but if they can, could be a strategy well played out.
We go again. I think these top 2 are teammates. Actually, maybe top 3? Top 4? Top 5? Not really sure, but regardless. My goodness. Coming up on halfway. So, we're getting there. And
Slowly but surely.
yeah, and we're gonna be very, very close to the end. I know you can make it on a B-fixed race from 40 laps, so... And we're taking the green with like 42 laps to go, so it's either A, people come to swap it out, or
Green flag, green
we'll just have to see a very, very messed up restart. I mean, look how spread out everybody is. Nobody gathers it through.
Man, there goes Patterson. I mean, we haven't seen that 0-2 all night tonight. Just now getting himself into the top 10. AJ Bain leads right now. Hunter up, Nick Roten, and Justin Johnson, the 3 cars right behind him, but this whole pack just got completely jumbled up, and the top 4 are going to go single file. Kyler looks up top, but right now, nobody going up there with him.
Oh, bit of shuffling there as Hunter's going to work himself down low of AJ. Side by side as AJ might get hooked.
AJ's going to get hooked in front of the field.
Right, man.
Roten's going to get involved. Hunter got a piece, and AJ gets hit, I believe, by the 95. And I kind of saw that one coming right there, but... And indeed it was the 95 that got into the 8. But can't say I'm surprised that a jumbled restart like that ended up resulting in a wreck. But now with this caution coming out, anyone that pits now will definitely be good to the end on fuel.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, AJ went up right in front of Kyler. I think Kyler was trying to split middle, but totally flung through the 8 and around the all
I think Roten's car might be alright. He didn't hit AJ that hard, and I don't think the 95 did either.
But I mean, this right there. That might have
Oh
done
yeah,
AJ in.
that bit more contact than I originally thought. I think Hunter and Roten are going to both have some front end damage, but I don't think either of them will be down much by way of RPM. But the 8 for sure will be.
That's unfortunate. AJ off the green, and man, that jumbled up restart just caused that stack up in which AJ had to move out of line and make something of that lead. Unfortunately, he got hooked with a 146 of Kyler. So with this caution coming out, again, this will bring us to solid go from this point forward. So, I mean, do you want to take the chance to stay out? You might catch a few cautions. Kilo is going to stay himself out, so he'll grab the lead. Everybody else, though, is going to hit pit road. Kyler in and out. Kilo Hankins stays himself out on the racetrack, but he's actually laps down, so gets the wave around off that exchange or free pass. Kyler Wynn is gonna pick up the lead. Justin Johnson there in the 33, even though he got a faster pit stop than that 146, seems as though it's just not gonna work into his favor. So Kyler Wynn, the man who won last week, is now up front. Now halfway through this race, Velomini only 4 short eliminated. Looks like a total of 6 people for right now. I'll make that 7 as Harry hits the DC button.
Yeah, with the way that car was crab walking down the pit road, I can't say I'm surprised by that.
Schmidt still, I mean, he's on pit road right now, but maybe trying to gather up as many points as he can. I mean, for a man who comes in here 5th in points, you have to use the time and patience to get as many points and as you can. But Harry, oh no, there he is back on the racetrack. So by the looks of it, William, if he gets himself back on the racetrack, at most he's going to finish 20th or better. So everybody tops off. Basin hits pit road yet again. So it's going to be
Get as much fuel in as you can.
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be a clean race from this point forward. I mean, not clean race, but no fuel race from this point forward. So just pure racing. And that, you know what that means. All bets are off now. Track position is going to be key from this point forward. I mean, it was already key beforehand, but that was just for pit road. And now, since these cautions just played into everybody's favor, 6 cautions so far in this 40-lap event. Curious to see on how it's gonna go. AJ does get the front end reattached on his machine, but unfortunately, very, very slow. Here we go again. Justin Johnson, number 33. One of the few Canadians out here on the racetrack, alongside with AJ Bain. I think there was one other Canadian I can't name off the top of my head. Kyler Wynn. Oh yeah, Kyler's from Canada. There you go, that's the other Canadian I was looking for.
Green flag.
He's going to lead it to the green.
Yeah, and of course Harry from the UK, but unfortunately for him, out of contention here tonight.
Lots of scrambling toward the back. We might have another restart wreck as drivers scramble around. Benjamin A. White drops himself through the middle. 3 wide yet again toward the back. Seems as though that damage on the 8 hasn't hindered him so far, so I'm very surprised about that. But they scramble down the back straightaway. Justin drops himself down low in front of the 146, but that outside line is hooked up there on the high side. Here comes Parker, but Benjamin's going to take it 3 as Parker clears into 3.
Oh.
Bachman.
Whoa,
Car down low,
33 and 84. They door banged twice there. Mike door bang a third time. The 15 is going to lose that momentum and should slide down in behind the 84. And there he goes. Gets himself right in front of Hunter Rupp. And that was a close call there between Justin and David. But Parker, who got a piece of that last wreck, you know, already back up to the lead. So I guess just like AJ, the damage he just got isn't really doing that much, which for him is a big plus. As here comes the third line. Benjamin's got some help this time, and David is left out to dry.
Reminded that he's gonna maybe pick up a bit of help there by the number 33, but man, as soon as Justin shot up to the middle side, look at that outside line roll, and here comes Benjamin!
Yeah, that's gonna bring David back into the picture with the help from Justin. He got drafting help there, and the 15 is gonna slot down in front of the 33. And now Benjamin back up into the top 5 as Bachman gets a bit squirrely there in the middle of the tri-oval. We'll see if he slides down. We'll go up top instead. Parker leads again at the line, but here comes the 15. He's got the 33 right behind him now.
Yep, here we go. We'll see what Benjamin can do off of this exchange. This time he's going to have another shot. And right behind him is going to be the 33 of Justin Johnson, who has to back out of it. Maybe got a bit hot. Ooh!
Oh, Roten through the grass.
Yeah, Roten.
And
he's gonna have to work himself back
still
into the
trying to
racetrack.
gather it up back there.
Yeah, looks like he finds himself back into the racetrack. But man,
Yeah, he's gonna lose the draft though.
yeah, he might lose the draft, so he involuntarily scooted himself down low. I'm not really sure why, especially at this point of the race in which all matters on the line as Justin tries to take it 3 wide.
Whoa, Kyler!
What a save there by Kyler. Keeps it straight.
I mean, I can't necessarily blame Nick. I mean, we're barely even past the halfway point. Still quite a few laps to go. You know, I'd say maybe around 15, 10 to go is when you really want to start to get going. But, you know, still a whole lot can happen over 35 laps. As looks like Menchu will get left out to dry. So get a look here at Jay Mulder, the 240, into the top 10 for the first time tonight. Haven't mentioned his name up until this point. But this top 4 starting to pull away. And I think this might be potentially AJ's damage showing itself now. Maybe he's strong enough to stay in the draft, but not to lead a pack.
We'll see what Jay Mulder does with that number 8. He has to push him up into that lead draft, so we'll see if AJ can snatch a draft off the 15, but for right now, just sort of stalling in the mix as some drivers try to shoot outside. That's the 06 Miles Nelson trying to make something happen, but here comes AJ with a run. He now has Mulder hooked up to him, so everybody working themselves as Harry gets himself back to the racetrack 11 laps down. All eyes are on the 95 of Parker now. Let's work ourselves now halfway, but who knows? You might have to save a bit of fuel from this point forward. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, for anyone that didn't just hit under that last caution, they're going to have to save it. Anybody that just came down pit road, I think will be good to the end, with the high end of that window being 40 laps. As AJ gets shuffled out, he's going to cross over Benjamin White, and just as I thought the 8 was going to go to the back, it's going to be the 15 instead, as he's all alone up top as they all go single file now. And that 15 is going to go in the wrong direction here through turns 1 and 2.
That's to be frustrating for Benjamin. He was looking for a run, but looks like it didn't come. And now AJ is going to slot himself in 4th, but man, that damage is starting to hinder him just a slight bit. Here comes Benjamin with another run. We'll see if AJ can pull out of line, and uh-oh, Hunter will. And he's going to pick up Benjamin, but looks like not really tucked up in line.
I think Hunter wanted to.
And AJ works himself to 3rd.
Squirrely up there.
And Benjamin gets to take
Hunter's
it 3.
Gonna get split. 15, 06, 38. Hunter, I think yeah, there he is. He blinked while sliding down as that slower car will scoot out of the way. And just as we almost rode off AJ tonight, already back up to 3rd place, and Jay Mulder now into the top 5.
Oh, AJ a bit sideways. I think Mulder pushed him out of line, or he's trying to work himself to the backside of Kyler Wynn. These two have a bit of a rivalry throughout the race. Kyler getting into AJ. Just the previous caution, but now these two back up together. And AJ to the high side. He has a run. Oh, don't want to go too high.
Well, he's still trying to gather it up as the 15 will return the favor there from the 8 crossing him over the lap prior to that. And now the 8 will be going in the wrong direction. And just as he got up to 3rd, he's going to fall out of the top 10 now. And with the damage he has, he might lose a draft here. He's going to slide in right in front of Justin.
Not a lot of drivers really working with each other up there on the high side as Mulder gets a bit out of line. Coming up on a lap car, there's going to be interesting to see on where Peter's going to go. Well, that might be Michael Shaw. I'm not really sure, but he stays down low. So
that's Peter. He's staying down there. That's going to be a bit squirrely. Looks like they all get by just right. But here comes Benjamin. He's got help from Miles Nelson in the 06, and they're pulling up even now with Parker and Kyler. So the 2 cars in the bottom having to go up to avoid the lap car is going to allow Benjamin to get a big enough run to come down and take the race lead.
How about that for that number 15 of Benjamin A. White now scoots himself to the front of this field. We'll see if Parker White and Kyler Wayne might make something of it. They're 2 only cars who really work with each other as of right now. But here comes the rookie, that 06 of Miles Nelson. He's mounted up a charge there at the high side. He has a 38 of Dylan Basin as a pusher who's now in the lead lap.
Yeah, and Dylan called top 5 ahead of wheel disconnection issue earlier, and he's really hasn't quite been able to get himself back up there. Just now starting to get himself back into this top 10 again, as the 06 just went way wide and hit the wall, and that's going to kill all the momentum that both of those cars had. But even if he lost a bit of momentum there, good to see the 38 back up there after the early race issues that he had, because we know that car has a lot of speed.
Mulder scoots himself up high. Looks like no help on his rear bumper. He's actually going to get taken 3 wide by the 38 of Dylan Basin, but up front, all eyes on the number 15 of Benjamin A. White on how he's going to control this thing. Everybody single file. Not for now! Around goes Hunter!
And he clips the 146 of Kyler. We'll see who else gets collected in this. A bizarre wreck there is going to take out our pole sitter in one of the best cars of the night, Kyler Wynn. I don't really know what happened there, but the 27 blinked and then went right up the hill and took the 146 with him. So we'll get a look and see what happened here. Here's Kyler running 3rd, Hunter running 4th. 27's going to blink in a second. He hits the apron and then just comes back up and just hooks the 146. Mulder and Basin get in it. I don't know what that was.
Not really sure what Hunter was doing. He
That
straight
was
up
bizarre.
hooked. Yeah, he straight up hooked that 146 of.
Yeah, went back down and just came right back up and hooked him. I don't know what could have possibly caused that. Don't know if that could have been a wheel disconnection. I don't know if that was... I really don't know what that could have been. But a tough break for Kyler, who won the pole, came into tonight's 2nd in points, led a good chunk of laps tonight, and now he's going to have to work his way through the field again.
Peter is probably going to get the lead lap off of that exchange, so that'll put now 16 cars on the lead lap. But Paul Granada involved in that incident. Kyler Wynn also involved. You have I think Basin also got some damage off of that exchange. Might have either left or right front damage. Man, that caution is going to bring us down with 30 laps to go. And everybody either splits it to come on in or stay out. Benjamin going to elect to stay out alongside with Parker White, but everybody else hits pit road. Cole Woody now in the lead lap, by the way, so number 71 gets himself back in race contention. Seems as though it doesn't have any damage, so I'm not really sure. It probably took a lot of optional and such, but... So Schmidt, oh, looks like he's probably about to come out here momentarily. Sham is back on the racetrack, by the way, so he's making up positions now in 22nd. Harry, of course, back on the racetrack after that incident with Kiloa Hankins coming into turn number 1. And Dewey, you were right about pre-race. Fireworks virtually. Man, we've already had some big wrecks. But for the 15 of Benjamin
Unfortunately.
Yep, unfortunately. But for the 15 of Benjamin A. White, all played to his favor, so... I'm pretty sure this, Benjamin, Parker, and Kyler, or what was left of Kyler's, we're all working with each other. They were the 3 cars were really grouped up. They didn't really move out of line or anything like that, but everybody else right behind. They were all over each other. And now with Bachman in 3rd, stayed out to get some track position. We'll see how it'll all go. Alright. Here we go. It's Benjamin, Parker, AJ, David, Nick, Justin, and Kiloa. Win-wise, only 1 out of these 5 drivers have an official ACOG/iScar victory, and that's Parker White in the 95. With the 8 of AJ being damaged, and this is gonna be interesting if AJ is gonna be able to push that 95 forward. So I expect Bachman to be that 2nd car to make the move. We'll just have to see, though.
Yeah, time will tell with that one.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. AJ drops himself down low. Found a hole right in front of the 33. That might have been coordinated there with 2 Canadians. I know the 8 and 33 are fairly close to each other, so they work themselves into one. Bachman snags the apron. Everybody in the inside has to check up. And here comes Parker yet again. He has Roten on his rear end, though.
And just as we thought the 26 is going to be in a lot of trouble after jobbing to the back earlier, now find himself back up in the top 5 here, coming to just 25 to go. So starting to be closing time here, as Basin is up there on the top side, but no help whatsoever. And here comes Bain once again, trying to recover again from another incident, back into the top 5.
How about that for AJ Bain as Bachman gets a bit out of line, but up front, though, Roten's doing a nice job of pushing that number 95 of Parker at the line. It's Benjamin by a smidge over the 95. Man, can he lead the final lap at the wire? We'll just have to see as Bachman a huge push. Well, that's what Benjamin needed.
And AJ almost got into the 95 as well.
Oh, Bachman pulls out!
Bachman's going to come up high. And Benjamin couldn't block, and here comes the 84. Bachman. Roten's going to slide himself down onto the bottom. And now Bachman's got help from Parker White, and we'll see if the 84 can maybe clear the 15 here. Can't quite do it, and now there's a disconnect up high. And it was a good move by Bachman there, and he saw the hole and took it, but not enough help up there, I don't think. But he still might lead this lap at the line.
Yeah, I think AJ he can't get connected to the 15, so Bachman leads it at the line over the 15, and Bachman looking for his first win in various amount of starts, and he clears to the inside.
It's a great push from Parker White, and now David Bachman leads this race here with just 24 to go. And just like that, now Parker's going to say it's my turn to clear like that, because he's got Chloe Hankins now to his back bumper.
Yeah, that's right. So We'll see what Parker does as he enters turn number 3. Huge shot to
There he
clear
goes.
down, and does so. So Bachman's still looking for a hole, but can't manage to find it, as Kiloa Hankins is going to be the next car to be pushed up on the high side. We'll see how that goes, and I think he has some help too. That's Dylan Basin in the 38, right behind him.
I mean, look at the bottom side. There's only 3 cars down there, so this is going to continue to happen the more the inside stays like that. With only 3 cars down there and everybody else up top, this cycle of guys getting to the lead and dropping down should continue as long as the outside stays like that. And of course, just as I go on that long-winded explanation on that, everybody drops back down to the inside.
Yeah, that was because Nick Roten got a bit of got bottled up with Justin Johnson. Both of those people banged bumpers, and it had to jam up on the inside, so everybody dropped down low, but now they're regathering back up with another run. And here comes the 15 of Benjamin A. White. He has a 33 of Justin Johnson right behind him, but look at right behind another tandem of 2. That's the 8 and 26 trying to make something happen. Barwick gets loose!
Hits the apron and gets tapped by the 8, and they both hold on to it.
Oh, they're trying to scramble around as they look around each other. AJ drops out because of Bachman, and look at by itself. It's the top 3 all by themselves as Justin Johnson works himself into second. Oh, they're a sitting duck. That screams run over me.
I don't know. Not a connected cars back there. Parker's on his own. The 72 is on his own. Roten almost took out the 02 right there, but they held on to it. I mean, for right now, they're not sitting ducks as long as those guys are disconnected. But if this group right here can get more organized, they should all be able to freight train them on the top at some point.
Yeah, and the question is, who of these 3 are going to pull out a line to block those drivers right behind? It's Kiloa Hankins and Bachman trying to make something happen, but they can't get organized. And Kiloa's damaged as well.
Well, the 84 is damaged too. They've both been involved in different incidents. For right now, it's a 3-car breakaway up front.
Yeah, and this is all favored to the inside line because, you know, Benjamin has to hold inside as the leader. Just watching in his mirror, seeing the 33 and a 95 in the mix, but who's going to break out for this main pack and gun for the top spot? Here comes Kiloa Hankins. It seems as though he's coming.
And I'd like to point out as well, the 146 of Kyler Wynn lost the draft on the restart. I don't know if that was a bad restart or if there's a lot of damage, but he's in a 3-car pack, I believe, with Peter Kenny in another car, and he's running 16th. So points-wise, this is looking really, really good for Justin Johnson so far as he come up to 20 laps to go.
Yeah, now 20 laps to go as Roten pulls out a line. Kiloa looks like Roten's seeing the damage on the number 72. It's just not going anywhere. The run is not coming to this top 3. I'm very surprised about that.
Yeah, they need to shuffle the 72 out if they want to get back up there. And I'm sure Kiloa is not going to go easily. But they're going to have to do something. I think Roten's going to have to lead a pack of probably everybody behind him. And they're going to have to get themselves at around the 72 up top if they want any chance of catching those 3 top cars.
Here they go.
He's just not getting anywhere.
Yep. We'll have to see as it's going to be... Oh, Justin pulled out a line! He might have gotten hot!
Well, that's going to certainly help them catch up. Because now they're disconnected, too.
Oh, yeah. Now it really screams sitting duck.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Roten and Basin are in a good spot right now.
But Roten clears on
the
Kiloa.
72.
They both cleared him.
Yeah, they're going to be in a good spot here. I think coming out of 2, they're going to have a good run up top unless someone blocks.
It might be Justin. Who knows? Because Justin's a bit disconnected. He might have a timely
Here
run
they go.
down the back.
They're there.
Here they go. Justin. Oh, he's looking high. Oh, wow, he goes
That's
way high.
interesting.
Oh, he might have just let them by. I'm not really sure what that move was about, but they go 3
26
wide.
and the 38 got disconnected. And now the 72 is going to latch onto the 38. The 26 is just going to, I guess, catch up to the 95. But I thought Roten and Basin, if they stayed together, could have just gotten right by everybody up top and just taken the lead on their own. But instead, they get disconnected here.
Yeah, and it didn't happen, so... Man, very, very surprised about that. So we got, it looks like 12 cars. Oh, they're coming up on some lap traffic.
157. Oh, boy.
Yeah, they need to keep themselves on the apron and out harm's way. My goodness, that was very, very dangerous. But they keep themselves down low, and the top 2 are all by themselves. So we'll see who third can grasp onto, because whoever gets clear of this battle for third between the 26 and the 38 is probably going to be getting up with another big, big run. But man, Roten got really loose off of 2. It seems as though these cars are ill-handling. Very uncharacteristic like of a super speedways. But looks like Roten, he has a run now. He's probably going to pull out. Here he comes.
And we've seen 3 or 4 different cars hit the apron at different points in the race, so it could just be a bit of a looser setup that these guys are running tonight. But here, now Roten and Basin working together once again. Patterson goes right up to the door of Roten to side draft off of him and gets the 26 pretty squirrely there. But now Patterson will get himself up into 3rd place. Haven't talked about him much tonight. They're now in a pretty good spot here to try to maybe take this win away. And he might go up high here out of 2. We'll see.
Yeah, and he's the only Nova car inside this inside this top 5, so they're starting to scramble. But I mean, nobody's really working with each other.
Yeah, there's not much by way of teams up here, I don't think.
Yeah, that's
I think
right. I mean,
Roten and Metsu might be, but I don't know about anybody else.
I know Benjamin and Parker are working with each other. Benjamin alliance there with Nebula Esports, but I mean, Nova, they have no more Paul Granada. Justin has no more AJ. Roten is basically all by himself, sort of floating in the midst. And Basin, he too is by himself. So I think this top 2, it's all going to matter on how this white flag will go for this top 2. I mean, if Parker pulls some type of hectic block for Benjamin, or vice versa, if Benjamin pulls some type of block for
Patterson,
them, but who knows? I mean, as I say that, here comes the 33 of Justin Johnson. He has a run, but I mean, Roten peaked out. That's going to fall back through turn number 3.
it's really anybody's game at this point. With not a lot of teams up here, or it's not a lot of teammates, rather, up here. It's still pretty much a wild card for how this is going to go, but coming with just 15 to go up the line, so this is go time. If you're around 10th, 12th, 15th place, this is when you got to get yourself started, or get yourself up to the front and making those big moves that could potentially be race-winning ones, as the 04 Granada will go another lap down. But Kenny, Kyler Wynn, and Mulder are in a 3-pack of their own, about 40 seconds back. So before this thing's over, they're going to come up on these 3 cars. And we'll see. And with them all working together like that, they're not just going to jump down onto the apron and slow down. So we're going to see how this pack maneuvers their way around those 3 cars, because they're going to catch them before this is over.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think they're probably going to either move up high. I mean, who knows? They got to communicate. Those lap cars got to communicate with each other to either A, move out of the way of the leaders, or B, block them. And I mean, the option would be, there's so many risks to it. A, you want to keep yourself on the lead lap to have a chance at it, but B, you might cause a caution. So I mean, I don't know. You want to cause a caution, maybe. I mean, indirectly cause a wreck. I mean, not throwing that out there like you want to cause a wreck and such like that, but you just have to catch a caution to put yourself in position.
Well, see, it's like if they maneuver themselves in a way that indirectly causes a wreck, everybody that's in this pack right now is going to look at him and say, if he ends up back in this main pack again, I'm not working with him if it means I, end up flipping over and DNFing instead. So I'm sure if those 3 cars end up deciding to do something like that, which I don't think they would, but if they did, I don't think it would be taken too kindly, wreck or not, by anybody up here. But side by side right now with Parker White and Johnson, 13 to go at the line. Roten goes way up high and slaps the wall there. I don't know what he was doing right there, but he's going to drop it now to the rear of this pack.
That disconnects Justin, so he's going to fall back as Basin scoots himself right behind a Bachman. So Basin's slowly working himself through. It seems as though that damage hasn't really affected him, though. But now with Bachman, a new pusher for that number 33.
Whoa,
big block!
Benjamin!
Uh-oh.
And Justin moves up high, Benjamin goes back down low, and those lap cars are only a second and a half ahead, so they're almost 3 wide behind them. They've really got to find a way to get around them now.
Oh yeah, that's right. And not only that, this inside line's going to suck up on this on these lap cars, so they're going to pull ahead. They just have to time it well, though.
Benjamin's clear, Parker's clear, well, barely.
Oh, they stayed down low!
Oh, boy,
this is going to get messy.
Oh, and it'll go 3-1 into 1. We'll see if these 3 cars can latch onto the back of this, but... and Kenny's going to hook the 26, and up into the wall he goes. Basin's collected, more of them involved, and the writing was kind of on the wall for that one, as the 19 got into the 26, and his great night is over now. 38's in it, and a couple other ones. And Peter would have been the free pass if a caution came out, but now that that's happened, I don't think he's going to be getting it.
Roten ill-timed that coming into the corner. I mean, just wasn't clear.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah.
And, oh, nowhere to go for Basin,
big
nowhere to
hit
go
there.
for Cole, nowhere to go for Kyler.
Yeah, so Kyler's not going to get the free pass either because of that.
So that's going to go to Paul Granado, or maybe Jay Mulder. In the,
Yeah, Mulder might get it. Well,
yeah, it looks like he avoided it. That's the blue car.
Kyler's got to be really upset right now because you see him, he goes down low to miss it, and the 26 just comes right down and gets him in the side, and 240 does a good job of avoiding everybody. So I believe the free pass is going to go to Mulder, and the chance that Kyler had to get back in this thing is gone now. But we're going to rack up the whole field again with under 10 to go, and with that combination of circumstances, I'm sure we might see another caution before this is over. So not all hope is lost for the 146 and the 19, but not looking very good.
Oh, man. Wow. Alright, so hit pit road now. Of course, a lucky break for AJ Bain, who's going to get himself caught up. Oh, lucky break for Mulder. He's going to get the wave around. Or the free pass, excuse me. Everybody else now. Oh my goodness. This thing is up for grabs.
Is it ever?
Yeah, I mean, you got top two winless ever. ISCAR and ACOG combined. Parker is trying to spoil this whole entire field with a win, and I think with Parker's experience, it might be his race. Like, this is screaming Parker White winning right now, in my opinion. Experience-wise, though. Luck-wise, Bachman might be in the good position. I mean, I might see David Bachman come out of here with a big W. It's just so bizarre seeing this entire top 10. None of these drivers have wins, like some type of win, like ever, except for Parker White. And Dylan Basin, obviously, but
And Menchu has a couple, but
it's been a while.
Justin hasn't won, and Justin's car is almost no damage on it too. I think that 33 is a pretty good chance tonight. 84's never won. The 69 hasn't won in a long time. 238, I think he's in his first or second league race. The 72 only won for the first time last week. AJ's only won a non-points paying race. 06 and 240, they've never won. So could we see another first-time winner tonight? I think we got a good chance to.
You might as well crack up a cold one like you just did, because this thing is gonna get wild.
Crack open a cold one with the boys while you watch ACOG at Daytona.
Hell yeah.
On the 4th of July, let's go.
Let's go, man.
For legal purposes, this is a root beer, not a beer. Well, actually, root beer is technically beer, but it's a soda. We're good. One to go at the line, regardless of my drink of choice. Benjamin White and Justin Johnson, both of whom have never won here in this league, will restart 1-2. Justin trying to open up the points lead further on Kyler Wynn, whose great run has gone south here over the last handful of laps. And he finds himself 2 laps down with just 9 laps to go. So not looking very good for him. Parker White trying to go 2 for 3 here in this series so far. Bachman trying to spoil everybody's party and go for the first time win. And Jackson Menchu, it's been a long time for him as well. So we'll see if he can get it done tonight.
13 drivers all in the lead lap, all the way back to Dylan Basin, who's taking some damage repair off of that exchange. I think it's might be 71 kilo. Cole Woody. No, it looks like might be 240. No, trying to find that. Oh, it's Michael Shum in the 157, missing a front end in the midst of that pack. So Benjamin A. White, Parker White, they're definitely going to be working with each other. So it just matters on how everybody right behind organizes themselves. They're all going to be hungry for that top spot, but it only takes 2 drivers to control this thing. And Parker White and Benjamin A. White are there to make it work. So Here we go. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is either going to be where we have a fantastic finish, or it's really going to be when crap hits the fan. Let's see which one of them it ends up being.
Green, green, green. And of course, straight off the get-go, Parker all over the rear end as Kiloa splits the middle. What a move there around the 157 of Michael Sham, who's unfortunately damaged. He might be holding up a couple of drivers, but in the meantime at that, they all get themselves situated. Coming into turn number 1, though, looks like top 3 pull themselves ahead, and we'll see what kind of run Justin Johnson's going to pull out down the back straightaway, and I'm sure these top 2 are going to stay with each other.
Well, I don't think the 33 can pull out yet because he really has nobody behind him yet. They got to get reconnected before he could really make any sort of move that's going to get him anywhere. And you see Benchu, I don't know if he's damaged or what, but top 3 is starting to pull away, and if he can't get caught up, the 33 is kind of stuck where he is.
Sort of all in line for right now based off of that restart, but here comes Patterson, gonna give a shot to Jackson Menchu, and once Justin's gonna see that run, he's gonna pull out. Here he comes.
But I'm not surprised that Menchu's not going with him, because it looks like that 69 car has a decent amount of damage on it, and so his best bet is just to protect the bottom and keep track position. So Justin's going to need probably Bachman and Hankins to get their way up there. But just as I said, that Menchu's going to go back up with the 33 because do the exact opposite of everything I just spent the time explaining.
Oh,
and into turn 3, here comes Parker to the bottom.
Oh,
Benjamin
Parker
can't clear. Oh, he does. Barely, but now the 33 is going to run up top.
Oh, yeah, he's there. But, I mean, Menchu's not tucked up with Justin, so this is going to stall the outside line, though.
Bachman's there, though.
So is Justin.
I think
Menchu's out of line.
I think with the damage the 69 has, I think the 84 is going to be the key in how this whole thing turns out.
I think it might be the 95. I mean, you see how hard he's pushing the 15, so Benjamin gets clear. He's going to be able to block Justin down the back. It's just a question, though, and
but
is he going to open up the door for his teammate right behind?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, do you block the 33 or do you protect the bottom? And we've seen it before. There's been plenty of cases so far today as Menchu gets shuffled out of line.
And no, the O2 fills the gap where the 69 was, so we now have a new pusher, that number 33.
Yeah, but we've seen so many times tonight where the outside can push just enough to where the first car can clear as you come to 5 to go at the line. So could the win end up being decided that way, or we'll see. But they're side by side here into 1 for that top spot.
And now Justin has a damageless car right behind him. That's the O2 of Josh Patterson. That is what he needs in the mirror. That might be.
He needs to hold his line though.
Yeah.
He gets really like that. He might get hooked.
Yeah, that's right. Just got to keep it straight and keep yourself aligned. And with only those top 2, I mean, Benjamin and Parker down there at the bottom, Kiloa Hankins is going to definitely be a bad culprit to him because Kiloa's damage as Justin.
Oh, Patterson
pulled out a line, so this is going to destroy the outside line.
Oh,
he might have gotten hot.
I don't know why he did that, but he's going to lose track position and it's going to hinder the outside line's progress.
He might have gotten hot.
4 to go at the line.
4 to go this time by. Justin's there.
I mean, Bachman's got not a lot of damage. Most of his damage, I think, is right side towards the right rear. So in terms of engine capacity, the 84 and the O2 should be about the same. But the 238 of Oliver, I mean, we haven't seen him much at all tonight. What impact will he have on how this goes?
I think Kiloa is having a bigger impact on that inside line than what it's wanting to be. I mean, Kiloa is damaged. He can't even suck up to the back end of that number 95, and you see there, it just slows them down the straightaway. And
I mean, look at Woody up there without a hood on his car. He was a lap down earlier, and now he's up into the top 10. So now we're starting to get to the point where damaged cars are making up the rear end of the top 10. So it really limits what this outside line can do in terms of movement.
3 laps to go at the line. It all comes down to this between the 33 of Justin Johnson and the 15 of Benjamin A. White. They work themselves into turn number 1, 2x2, about 5 rows deep. And I no, they're just so stalled out right now. They're so close, so even. But Bachman seems as though he's mounting up a charge, but he just can't make the 33 clear that inside lane.
Whoa! 3 wide. Patterson flings below the yellow line underneath the 06 as Justin clears for the lead on Benjamin. Coming to 2 to go. Can the 33 hold on? But the 15 goes up high. No help. and he can't come back down. The 33 is going to block. Benjamin crosses him over, and they're side by side once again. Bachman trying to take a 3-wide up the middle as a review is blocked, but they all go around behind him. Bachman's around, Oliver's around. Green-white checkered time. Menchu and Patterson involved as well. AJ splits the middle, and a big move by Bachman doesn't work out for anybody. And now we're going to go into a 2-lap shootout.
Oh my gosh, unfortunate for the grandstand right there, but regardless, that would have been a badass move there by that number 84. But my goodness, those blocks there were
and here's
all
the
over
84,
the place. I mean,
he's going to shoot it up the middle.
Oh, Parker
Actually,
came
no,
up.
Parker got into him.
I thought,
Oh, Woody got clipped too. And I think the 95 just accidentally got up into the 84 there.
take another look at it.
Apologies for the grandstands obscuring the view, but there's the 15, the big move down to the bottom to get the lead back. And I don't think, maybe Parker didn't expect the 84 to be there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, they came up with such a big
Oh, yeah,
run, and I think
the
Parker, you are
84
right.
came down a bit in the 95 one. I think the 95 and the 84 had the same idea of taking it 3-wide, and they both went for it at the same time and ended up colliding.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100% correct. I feel the same way.
So Johnson's going to be the leader, Benjamin second, Parker still third, Oliver now fourth, and Woody, despite being in the wreck, is going to be in the top 5.
And not only that, this green-white checker is going to play some factor. I'm not sure if Benjamin nor Parker can make it on fuel, because they've stayed themselves out for now 40 laps, but this caution is going to play benefit to them. And I don't know how many cautions you got between those 40 laps, so regardless, we've gone over that fuel window for those two drivers, so they might have to come in and maybe top off.
Going to be close for sure.
Yeah, that's right. So, if we go like into green-white checker 2 or 3, Benjamin and Parker probably have to pit, but these cautions are saving him though. And my goodness, this for Justin Johnson to win this thing, that would be incredible. I mean, you see how many drivers are damaged right behind. This is oh man.
I mean, not only would it be a big for his first ever win, but it would also be a huge boost to him in the point standings.
That's right. I mean, he comes in here as the points leader. Has never won an ACOG nor ISCAR event. Now number 33, now in contention to best out the two whites in second and third. They've controlled this race so far, but now with Justin Johnson gonna split them up. What does this mean for Justin Johnson?
I mean, I think the 33 still might be in one of the best spots out of anybody, but the other thing that has to be considered now is, we mentioned it before on that last run, with the amount of incidents that there's been so far, you know, half the top 10 now are basically cars that have got a decent amount of damage. So there's going to be a limit to what they really can do in terms of trying to make moves where their collective engine power just isn't going to be enough to make any sort of difference. And I think that is going to play into how some of the guys towards the front are going to approach these last 2 laps.
Yeah.
Because I think at this point, if, you know, maybe somebody like Parker or maybe AJ might realize, you know, the cars behind me aren't strong enough to give me a push, so maybe I'll just, you know, protect the bottom and, you know, just try to walk out of here with a top 5 or something. We'll see what this ends up doing in that aspect.
In terms of teams and such, Justin's on a 2v1 scenario. You know Benjamin and Parker are going to work with each other, but those drivers right behind, I mean, you got Jacob Oliver coming out of nowhere, and that number 238, highest running rookie in this field. He's now as low as 24th, started himself in 15th. He's now in contention out of nowhere. You got AJ Bain back in the mix, but unfortunately he's damaged, so that might play a factor to the inside line. We'll just have to see how this will all go. I mean, you have Mulder back in the mix. You got Miles Nelson out of nowhere. Peter Kenny's back in this one, so in terms of content of cars, I'm not really sure who's really, quoted, up to speed and repaired. So this is going to be interesting, because now we've damaged Patterson, we've damaged Menchu, we've damaged Basin. Bachman is severely damaged, so I'm just unsure how this will all go. And
Well,
in a 2v1 scenario, with Benjamin A. White and Parker White just breathing all over you, you know those two are just going to easily work themselves around. But if those two suddenly work themselves 1 and 2, and who's going to split up? I mean, Benjamin going to dip Parker? Parker going to dip Benjamin? Does Parker want to break Benjamin's heart 3 weeks or 2 weeks in a row? Who knows?
well, the thing with the damaged cars is, you were just talking about that, but, in terms of figuring out who's really damaged or not, the guys in this field need to figure that out really quick.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
Because they don't have any time to fool around with that.
that's right. Here we go. It's Johnson, Benjamin, and Parker. All in this mix. Technically, 2 Nebula Esports machines, second and third. It's Justin Johnson by himself. Now you got AJ Bain there in the mix as well, but we'll see on what kind of factor he pulls. As
Green flag,
you see the
green
green flag. Oh, Benjamin spun the tires, but I think he's gonna find a hole right back in line, right in front. I mean, right behind the 33. No, it looks like he doesn't. Oh, now he hit the brakes just to get behind. Get in front of the 95.
That's going to kill his momentum, though.
Yeah, so now it'll open up the door, but I mean, off of restarts, it's all inside. So, oh, Benjamin pulled out, or he's looking to.
Whoa, and the 33
Wow, what a
blocks
block!
just in time. AJ's going to make contact with Parker and almost hooks the 15 as well. But thankfully they keep it going. But here comes Parker on the outside. Can he get enough to run?
Yeah, he has a 238 right behind. That's Jacob Oliver right in the mix. But I mean,
even if this race ends up ending side by side, you don't necessarily have to clear it. All you need to do is beat the car you're trying to beat at the line. But here they come. White flag is out here at Daytona. Who's going to come out of here on top? Justin Johnson, Benjamin White, or somebody else?
here we go. So it all comes down to this. Now, Benjamin swept up to the high side in turn 4, and he picked up Parker White, his teammate, so that might be enough to net him a win. Who knows, though? What will Parker do
It's
down
not
back?
over yet.
Is he going to stay committed, or going to pull out a line?
Jay almost he barely hit the apron there. They all slide up.
Look at him
King
pinch!
Woody, look at Woody and Miles Nelson. And the 06 is going to get into the 71. AJ goes into the grass. There they go. Big crash. A lot of cars are involved. It's down to 3 cars. Which one of them is going to come out on top? Out of turn 4, the 2 whites on the top. The 33 is on the bottom. And at the line, here they come to the tri-oval. Parker White looks up top, but Benjamin White's going to win it.
Oh my goodness, what a finish there for the 15 to Benjamin A. White to win it here at Daytona.
He got
Timed
it.
it out well and he wins it.
Wow.
And he put
And
Parker
Ben-
White in the wall in the meantime of that, but
First league win for Benjamin White here tonight at Daytona. Job well done for sure.
and you knew Parker White was going to work with the 15. I mean, it was bound to it was fated to happen. You knew it was going to happen, and here's Benjamin in victory lane at Daytona. And Justin's win got absolutely thrown out the window.
It got ripped out from under him.
Yeah, but I mean,
What from one potential first-time winner to another, and for the first time here in ACOG, Benjamin White will burn it down, or well, he was going to.
there he
Now
goes.
we'll burn it down. We'll have to get a look once this is over at that last lap wreck, because there was about 2 or 3 different incidents that all happened at the same time. But a job well done, for sure, as Benjamin White finally breaks through and scores his first league victory. And we got to look and see what happened there on the final lap. It all started, I think, about halfway down the backstretch, where all the cars towards the back ended up wiping each other out.
I get another replay of it as it worked down the back.
The first thing I saw, I think, was the 06 getting into the 71, right there, and then
Oh.
the 71 hooks the 8 into the grass, and the AJ just comes back up and cleaned out the 238 and everybody else. As the 84 ends up in it, the 02's in it. AJ still trying to gather it up. And then here comes Benjamin and Parker up top. And Parker had a good run up there, but Benjamin blocked him all the way up to the wall twice and just barely edged him out to take the win.
Yeah,
wow.
What a victory. I mean, there was 2 instances of blocking there by Benjamin A. White. And Parker tried to dip him. He tried to dip him on the front stretch. I mean, he pulled out a line. He got the nose there, but I mean,
if the 95 didn't hit the wall twice, I think he would have gotten him on the outside. He had a really big head of steam up there.
Yeah, right about here. I think he would have won it, but
and then
right
boom
about
again.
there.
And then number 3. Yeah, Parker definitely had a big enough run to make that work up top. As yeah, Basin also involved in that. Yeah, that was all started by the 06, got the 71, and then got the 8, and then everybody piled into it. And then the top 5 is, I mean, Miles Nelson got out of here with the top 5, which is a great run for him in one of his first ever races. You see Hankins with no front end, he gets a top 5 as well. A lot of good finishes here by guys tonight.
Full results going to be shown in front of your screen. Benjamin A. White picks up his first ever ACOG victory. Parker White, his teammate, comes home in second. Justin Johnson, Miles Nelson. How about that for the 06 running in fourth?
Peter, huh?
And Peter Kenny comes out of nowhere. Even though Kiloa Hankins crossed the line in 5th. Well, we'll have
He
to
must have gotten an incident penalty.
Might have gotten an incident penalty, so we'll have to review that post-race. Oliver, Patterson, Basin, Mulder, and Bachman ran at the top 10.
Peter must have gotten the free pass on that last caution, but a great recovery from him after a rough beginning to the night. Kiloa Hankins looks like he got relegated to 11th, Cole Woody 12th, Jackson Menchie 13th, AJ Bitt unfortunately didn't make it back around, and he ends up 14th. Rest of your top 20, Paul Granada, Harry Grindle, Kyler Wynn, Nick Roten, Michael Schaum, and Hunter Rupp in the 27th.
You got Schmidt, Musha, Hobbs, Lutz, Olsen, and Johnny all out of the race, unfortunately with the DNF, but scroll ourselves to the top of the board of Benjamin A. White, who wins here tonight in the ACOG iRacing Super Speedway Series event. Congratulations to that number 15, and we can't wait to see y'all post-race as we interview the top 3 of Benjamin, Parker, and Justin after these messages. We welcome everybody back here live, here for the ACOG iRacing Series event. Glad you could tune us in here. Post-race coverage presented to you by MaxspeedTV, as well as our sponsors, Trey Shuttlesworth Photography, and everybody else who participated in ACOG, as well as NSM Wraps, Arcade Designs, Kenny Creative, and Dadcar as well. So we'll go ahead and stride ourselves in for interviews here with this one. And for Benjamin A. White, I'm pretty sure he's going to be excited for his first ever ACOG victory at Daytona. We'll go ahead and slide him into the booth this time Actually, it looks like he's not in the booth as of right now. So we'll go ahead and slide ourselves back. We'll start from the rear and work ourselves forward for that number 33, who was on the other end of the spectrum, unfortunately. But fortunately for him, he's going to walk out of here with the points lead, maybe. But for Justin Johnson and that number 33, coming up short here tonight, it was a 2v1 out there, and unfortunately, it came down to those final few corners, Justin. It just all went away, and all you could do was just watch. Justin, you round yourself out third. What can you take off of today?
I mean, there's really nothing to say. You know, I just didn't have any help, so just gonna finish third. I mean, still a good points day. That's probably still the points lead for me, so it is what it is.
Yep, that is right. Points lead important here over Parker White. Even though he finished second, I'm pretty sure you're still going to retain that points lead over that 95 regardless. But man, it all came down to that white flag. And unfortunately, the field started to wreck out right behind. It was left with you three, and you were the man who was the odd one out off of that exchange. Just walk me through that final run.
Well, see, coming to the restart, I was like, I knew AJ had a bit of engine damage and no one else could have really helped me. So I, blocked Dog going off of 2 the first lap, but then he got behind Parker. And I thought AJ had a run going into 3, coming to the last lap, and he didn't. So it was just kind of, I was trying to do everything I can. You saw me pinching him, on the back stretch of the final lap, but just no help. 2v1, as you said, but maybe next week.
All right, yep, we'll have to see on how the truck series go with you at Talladega, and that good that combination for you has been well known, especially what we saw out of ISCAR race number 11 with you leading laps up there toward the end of it. So Justin, before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
I guess Team Canada. Me and AJ, we tried it, but it is what it is. Happy 4th of July.
All right, by 10-4, Justin Johnson rounds himself up in 3rd place. We'll go ahead and see you coming next race, man.
All right, thank you.
And we'll scoot ourselves one position forward to Parker White in that number 95. We knew he was working with that number 15 from the top of the green, and here he is. He finishes out second, but he made a run for that win. Tried up on the high side, but unfortunately it just did not pay off. Got walled there at the end. Parker, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Parker, man, it all came down to that final corner. He had room up there on the high side, but unfortunately, it was you versus the wall there at the end, and you got walled there coming to the start-finish line. You round yourself out second, but luckily for you, you finished only one position ahead of Justin Johnson, so that points gap is going to close, but Justin's still going to come out here as the points leader. Regardless, good points day, but man, it's coming short of a win, trying to pick up win number 2. Walk me through that final run.
Yeah, Doug and I, or Benjamin A. White and I, were just trying to work with each other. It was kind of us against the entire field because nobody wanted us to win. So we were just trying to get one of us to win there. Then coming to the last lap, Justin and AJ were just trying to put us on the fence. And then AJ actually hit me a little, but I don't know what was up with him because every time he would hit me, he would just go straight through my car. He was probably just having internet issues or something, but then he got turned, then turned right and killed the rest of the field. So it was only Justin, Doug, and I that were going to be able to get over the win. We just kept our cars clean. We were there at the end. I got involved in a wreck there early, but I only had 12 seconds to damage, so I was fine. And then coming off of 4, I kind of tried to stick my nose out on the outside. I got there. There was literally not even a car length there. I put myself on the wall at first, then in the middle of the travel, I got put in the fence. Sorry, I decided to clear my throat. Then coming across the line, I just barely got Justin. Then I was able to get second. Obviously, finished ahead of Justin. I didn't know where I was in points before this race, but I guess I'm in second now. I usually do these races for fun, so I'm not necessarily looking to win every race. But now that I'm pretty good in points, I guess I'll keep that in mind. I might try to win a few more races. Like I said, I just do these for fun. Like, I'm not mad that I lost or anything. Like, I was trying to get Dog the win. I just was like, why not just go for it? There's actually another league race where coming to the line, I decided to do the same thing, and I took one away from him. So I guess that was kind of just his payback or something. But like I said, it's all good. He earned that win. He's got way too many stolen away from him, so I'm happy to see him finally get one. And I don't really think I could have done that much better. I'll definitely take second here.
All right, but 10-4, Parker White rounds himself out in second, closes the gap between himself and Justin Johnson for this points lead. We'll go ahead and see you coming to Talladega in the trucks. But before we let you go, and your sponsor, I want to thank you for tonight.
Yeah, I've just got to thank everyone that came out here to race tonight. I've also got to thank Nebula Esports, Mountain Motorsports, Rocky Racing Setup, Snowman Studios, Landon Mills Paints, Blaze Designs, Bunch of Lawn Care, Yield Media. And then, of course, I've got to thank Uzik, everyone at ACOG, everyone at MaxspeedTV, and that'll just be it.
All right, but 10-4 on Parker White's case. He rounds himself out second, closes the gap between himself and Justin Johnson for the points lead. We'll go ahead and see you coming to the next race, man.
All right, thank you.
That was Parker White in the number 95. We'll scoot ourselves forward for the winner of tonight's event. And finally, in victory lane, our former commentator himself, Benjamin A. White, in victory lane. My goodness, it all came down to the end. It was you versus Parker who tried to make a charge up there in the high side, but it was also the wall as well who played a factor into that. Benjamin, you grabbed the win here tonight. You led 30 out of the scheduled 60 laps here tonight. You're working with Parker White there for that whole entire event, but man, he dipped you out. But luckily for you, you crossed the start-finish line first. Congratulations, man. First thoughts.
I can't believe I won that. There was several different times that I thought I had absolutely thrown the race away, but just a few things went my way there in that last restart. I almost got put in the wall a few times down the backstretch. I don't know if everybody saw that, but it was just hard racing for the win, and then I was lucky to have Parker helping me there off of 4, and then he tried moving high, and I had to take the only chance that I had to win a league race ever. So complete domination of the race by us, I think. I mean, we absolutely controlled the field for pretty much the last half of the race. We put on a really good show with Justin. I'm really proud of Justin, how much he's progressed as a driver, especially on these super speedways. We were all the three of us were having so much fun up there. I just can't believe I came out with the win. I've gotten screwed over so many times in these races, and I thought this would be another time where I'd either get crashed out of the lead, something just absolutely stupid what happened, but it didn't work that way. I ended up getting the win, so I'm very happy with the result. I haven't gotten a league win in a long time, especially on a huge network like MaxspeedTV. This is just absolutely amazing.
Yup, that is right. Benjamin A. White, of course, our former commentator up here in the booth with Isker and such like that. But for you, in victory lane, here for tonight, man, beating out Parker White in that number 95. And it all came down to the end. Again, it was you against Parker White there. But overall, it was just you two just controlling the race. You were the only teammates who were really controlling the field here for tonight. So, just list me down to things on how you just controlled out those 30 laps you led.
Well, I wouldn't say we're definitely not teammates, but we were in the same voice call, so that we were definitely able to communicate well, and he was just able to push me really good, especially down on the bottom, and we kind of got lucky with the way the cars fell as far as like who's leading what line, who's pushing who, and he was just able to cool down the engine and then push again, and was able to, keep me out front for a little bit. Then we had that challenge from Justin, and then got around all those lap cars. Those lap cars were just absolutely horrendous all day, but I mean, they're just doing their job, holding their line. They could have just moved high, but I won't say anything about that. But anyways, yeah, we just played the draft to perfection. I really can't explain it because I thought we would just get freight train by because Supreme had so many cars left. I thought we were going to be sitting ducks out there, but man, that was just a heck of a race. I don't know. I can't find any words, okay? Especially when I rarely have a chance to win one of these, and coming out with the win is just super awesome feeling.
That's right, man. You've led so many laps with these past few weeks, but finally, you complete it to perfection here tonight at Daytona, leading 30 laps out of the scheduled 84 here with this event, man. First off, man, congratulations, man. About time you put yourself in victory lane. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank you for tonight?
Well, I do want to thank Parker, obviously, for the help all race. Also, Kiloa Hankins and Dylan Vason were in the voice call as well. And then also Bridger Olsen, who decided to crash under pace for no reason. But anyways, yeah, those were the people that I was planning to work with, but one of them decided he's going to crash before the race even starts. But I also do want to thank Supercell Racing. Got the team the first win of the season there as well. So I want to thank Connor, Brandon for running the team, I guess. But that's about it. And thank you guys for broadcasting. You and Dewey do a pretty good job up here in the broadcasting booth. So I'm just really excited that I got the win. I rarely have a chance to win one of these.
That's right. Benjamin anyway rounds himself out in victory lane here for tonight. We'll go ahead and see you coming to next week at Talladega.
Thank you.
That was Benjamin A. White in the number 15. He was probably going to move himself up in point standings as well. We'll just have to see on how it will alternate for him and that whole entire team and such. But from the top of the booth, Dewey Schramm, unfortunately not alongside of us as of right now. He's currently doing something on the side, but I appreciate Dewey Schramm for joining us in tonight's broadcast. But regardless, what a race, what a victory for that number 15 of Benjamin A. White, who rounds himself on top of the board here on Max Speed TV, live with ACOG iRacing Series, Super Speedway Series, of course, coming next week. Yet again, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have a bit of a schedule change coming weekend because Friday is going to be a bit different. Probably not going to broadcast Friday, either Thursday or Saturday. But regardless, thank you all for tuning in here live on Max Speed TV. ACOG iRacing League coming to you here live, of course, for next week as well. And for the next 3 as we summarize this season. Now halfway through of this event, we will go ahead and see you next time live on the network.